Hey, I'm Grant and welcome to the State of the Channel for January 22nd. So I guess the quick recap of the week is still going strong, putting out Resident Evil. I have to work around some hard drive limitations until I get a new hard drive, and that's one reason it's coming out as much as I wanted, but I'm not getting it done as fast as I want because I can basically only have one video in progress when I edit, whereas if I had the hard drive space, I could have converted them all at once and then just did one long binge recording and have it all done. And that being said, is looking at what I have so far, with one release a day, it is going to go over into February, which I'm kind of fine with because I think that will give me more time to work on some other stuff. So essentially that's going to keep coming out one a day until that finishes, and there will not be something starting on February 1st right now, because I want to figure out some other things on what I want to do with the channel. And I guess the big thing I would like to talk about is, so I got an email, I think it was last Sunday or something, essentially with YouTube talking about their new guidelines, or the new standards. And basically now to monetize your channel, you need 1,000 subscribers and I think something like 40,000 or 4,000 minutes of watch time every month or something. And while I think I do hit the watch time per month, I don't hit the subscribers count whatsoever. So after I think a month from last week, I won't be able to monetize anything on the channel. And that's not a huge deal. Like, I'm not making a ton of money. In fact, like, I've never gotten a check from YouTube. And that's not why I do it. But at the same time, I think this would be a good call to maybe start going and looking at this channel and the whole branding I try to do a little bit more as a business focus. Like, now is the time to start leveraging that, because a lot of the stuff I do on the channel isn't really necessarily for the viewer, it's for me. So stuff like the, I've always talked like the Let's Play series isn't something I put out because, man, I'm gonna get huge, I'm gonna be the next PewDiePie or Markiplier, or I'm gonna get some job out of this. Really, it was just, this is something that I do because it lets me practice the editing. And I guess the idea is that I'm trying to develop these skills so that when something comes down the line that I really do want to do and do very well, I have the skills and the resources to do that. Stuff like when I started this, I didn't plan on making a podcast. But when I decided, man, I really kind of want to do this, it was nice that I didn't have to go learn a whole bunch of stuff. I could just kind of start it. I just literally, I think it was like 2 weeks from inception until the first test episode. It was just kind of like, go. So I feel like that's what I'm trying to do with this, is just I've been developing the skills. Maybe now it's time to start leveraging that into something more. Something that's a little bit more subscriber focused and like I look at more as a business. And this isn't just YouTube. This is also the website. This is also a couple other things that I do just in the background for like my own personal development. So stuff like those coding projects, like maybe this is the point where I should start making stuff that people would want to like subscribe for and see and interact with, because I think there's definitely stuff I can pursue. Like one thing I've always wanted to bring back is the Master Run series, which I did for Dead Rising 1 and 2. And this was something, especially the Dead Rising 1 was that I could always tell like there was an innate quality and demand for that series. Like there was something about it where even though I was not very good, it was the first series I ever made. Everything else before that was just a video. This was a series. I'm going to do 35 episodes and then it's done, and they all kind of go together and you watch them in tandem. I could always tell that even though I didn't have like a lot of skill at that time, there was something good about it. Like there was a reason people watched it, and I never really was able to figure out how to repeat it, because the definition of what that series is kind of up in the air. Like it's very dependent on each game, and the point I'm trying to get at is I'd like to maybe look at that, because that always started out as something that I could sell this. Like there's enough demand that this could be a thing. Maybe it's not the main thing I do, maybe it's not huge, but maybe this could be the thing where, yeah, this isn't something that's gonna drive a 100,000 subscriber channel, but maybe I can use this thing and leverage it to get to the 1,000 subscribers. And then you get an audience to build stuff. Because I think that's one of the things I don't have right now compared to like someone who is a bigger YouTuber, is I don't really have a test audience. Like if I throw out a video, it's not going to be, like, there's not going to give me any like statistics back. Like I can see if people watch it, but it's not like, oh, people who currently watch my stuff really like this, or people who currently watch my stuff really don't like this. So I'd like to kind of get that, or get kind of a more of a community going. And I don't mean that necessarily even community in the sense of, oh, look, I need fans, but rather just even like other YouTubers to work with. Now, I've always tried to like stick around the new YouTuber subreddits and just provide actual feedback. And I would love to branch off and work with other channels just so that, hey, I have somewhere where, like, if I want to get a thumbnail, like first impression, I can be like, hey, Steve, what do you think of this? Is this too weird? Am I over editing this, or should I do more? So I'd like to branch off and do that. I'd also like to turn the website into more of a useful resource. Right now, it doesn't particularly provide any value other than it hosts some images that I will reference. I can collect the link dump on the podcast because I can put whatever links I want on there, whereas YouTube really limits which ones you can. And I have like an about page, and then I can just, for my own purposes, it teaches me like PHP and coding, that stuff. Well, I'd like to turn that to be more of my own like brand and center that more around the website. Because right now, like I'd say the YouTube channel is the main item I have. Like I have a Twitch account too, I have my Twitter and all that, but really it's centered around the YouTube channel because that's where most of my content is. And that's, since I'm essentially just plugging into this great site, otherwise, that's the best place to watch it. So I'd like to take the website up and use that to be more of a thing. So what I'd like to do is write just some very simple articles that you could go there and just read. So I don't want to call it a blog. I would think of it more of like a, I don't know, I guess it would basically be a blog, but it's not going to be a journal. Like there might be things I write about, but maybe I want to say, hey, I have run one series that's just me writing about like things in my life. Like I'm working on this project and this worked out, but this didn't, or what have you. Or maybe I want to do a retrospective on stuff like the Handsome Jack project. Like this is the official write-up. Like the video is just like the thing I sell it with. Like, oh, this is the cool idea. It's neat, haha. But this write-up's the really long, here's how I did everything, here's why I did everything. And then I also want it to be able to have just simple stuff like every time in my own time or on the channel I beat a game, I just do a retrospective on it. So like, this is why I liked it, this is why I played it, this is what's good, this is what's bad. Not really a review, but just like, here's my thoughts. So I don't know what that is, but I'd like to get all that going. And then just also building the website out into its own entity. Like right now I feel like it's very template-ish and is essentially like, I could have just done all this by getting a WordPress blog or even just like a Blogger blog, and I would have been way better off. But the reason I did it the way I did is because it could have extreme flexibility, and I wanted really leverage that. These are all just like thoughts going in my head. I haven't really like sat down and started anything too much. The next thing is I want to continue doing the Let's Play stuff to get better at putting out content. It's something where it's hard to see when you just see the videos coming out, but it's actually very valuable to be able to do that stuff. It increases my like agility, I would say. Like looking at the original Dead Rising series, like I said, like that was the first time I made the series. And then when Dead Rising 2 was the first time I tried to streamline that process. And back in the Dead Rising 1 days, that used to take me 8 hours to make one single video that was 15 minutes long. Probably worse. Like I think it took a whole weekend. And then it was through these like little Let's Play like projects that now it's like I essentially put out, I guess, what would it be? At least I could say 40 videos a month, and it's not a huge deal. And I want to stay on that track of just being able to like very easily and simply create and push stuff out. So I want to keep that going. I'm definitely gonna keep the State of the Channel going. I think these are good. I think it's mainly nice for me, but I could see down the line this being a very valuable series, even if I go in a completely random direction, to every week have like a touching point, like this is what I'm doing, this is what's coming out on the channel, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, and get feedback and answer questions and stuff. But yeah, it's all kind of stuff I gotta figure out. I think really I still feel I haven't hit a very good groove where everything has like time periods for me to do stuff. Like that's the main thing, is it still feels like I have to cram like, oh, podcast has to come out tomorrow, so I know this Thursday is, I'm gonna edit from 4 p.m. until 1 a.m. So, or work on it, maybe not edit. And I'd like to get to the point where it's not that, it's rather just, I know I need to put 3 hours. Anyway, I feel like I'm still trying to figure this stuff out. And I think, honestly, I'm sure even if I went over to any big YouTuber, I still feel like the same way. Where it's not really, you never stop and like perfect your current process because you're always trying to learn the next one. And that's how I kind of feel like, man, if I really did just want to do the whole Let's Play channel thing and I dropped the podcast, I dropped this series, I dropped the website, man, I could really do that and just kind of perfect that, but I don't want to. I want to do the next thing, and I want to learn that while also working on all these other projects. So I think it's just getting better at things. I think it's going to come. I think I just really need to focus and take control of that, and really, like I said, try to start leveraging the skills I have. Because actually, I would say one of the things I do think of is I think I'm actually better than a lot of the stuff I put out on the channel. And that's a weird thing to say, but like, I don't really have any video series where I would just sit and keep working on something. I very much try to have deadlines for everything because eventually it needs to come out. And I could always do more, but I just need to get it out, because while I view like working on one project as a very lateral improvement. Say like I could always make the audio podcast better. I could always spend more time on that than I do, because I could completely edit that as its own thing and make it sound amazing. But ultimately that only makes that one better. Whereas if I just take that time and make the next episode and try new things there, that's going to make the entire series better. So I don't know if I have an answer. I think it's just kind of keep doing what I'm doing and keep trying to figure that out and take these skills. And I'm not overly concerned, but I do think it's going to be an interesting year. So we'll see where we go by 2019. But as always, you can reach me over on Twitter. It's at takingthenumber4grantd, or on my email, which is grant@takingthenumber4grantd.com. And I'll see you guys again next week.